Hey, hello. We are doing the scope for the second exam paper for the GEC exam. Okay, entrepreneurship. What is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is someone who identifies a need or a gap in the market and takes the initiative to create a business or enterprise to address it. Entrepreneurs are often known for their creativity, innovation, and willingness to take risks. They bring new ideas, products, or services to life and work towards turning them into profitable ventures. Reasons why people might choose to become entrepreneurs. Now, if you remember, we did all of this in class with a few slideshows as well. So the first one is freedom. They want to be their own boss and make their own decisions. Passion. They have a strong idea or dream they want to bring to life. Money. They aim to make more money than they could in a regular job. Flexibility. They want control over their time and work-life balance. Problem solving. They love solving problems and making things better for others. And impact. They want to leave a legacy or make a difference in their community. Remember in class we use a lot of examples, especially the Tanny with the cookies. She's making her own cookies, the large cookies, different flavors, everything. So she is an entrepreneur herself. Then qualities of a successful entrepreneur. They are hardworking. They put in effort needed to achieve their dreams. They are creative. They come up with new ideas and solve problems in smart ways. Confident. They believe in themselves and their goals. Adaptable. They adjust to changes and challenges. They are good leaders. They inspire and guide their team to success. Customer focused. They care about their customers' needs and satisfaction, and they are good with money. They manage finances wisely to keep their business strong. Entrepreneurship plays a crucial role in shaping South Africa's economy and society. Number one, by job creating. Entrepreneurs start businesses that create jobs for many people, helping to reduce unemployment in the country. Economic growth. New businesses contribute to the country's economy by increasing production, trade, and services. Innovation. Entrepreneurs introduce fresh ideas, products, and technologies that improve industries and solve problems. Community development. Many entrepreneurs invest in local communities, supporting education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Empowering individuals. Entrepreneurship allows people to take control of their futures, fostering independence and self-reliance. Addressing inequality. Small businesses can uplift disadvantaged communities and reduce economic gaps. Inspiring future entrepreneurs. Successful entrepreneurs motivate others to pursue their dreams, creating a culture of innovation and growth. Okay, then we did the types of hair salon businesses. The first one is a store. So it's a normal store that you go to do your hair. So the advantage is that it offers a stable location for regular clients. So the clients already know where the salon is. It creates a sense of familiarity and trust, and it's easier to establish brand recognition. The disadvantages is it's a high initial setup cost for rent and the equipment that you need to have and to buy, and limited flexibility in location changes. Then the next salon is a home-based salon, so you're working from your home. Advantages, it's lower overhead costs, so you don't need to rent a space. And then it's comfortable and convenient for the stylist, for yourself, and it is personal. You can add a personal touch for the clients. Then the disadvantages, it's got a limited client capacity, so you can't fit in a lot of people in your home. and zoning and permit challenges in some areas, because you need to have a permit to work from your home. Then a mobile hair salon. Advantages is it's flexible to serve clients at their preferred locations because you can go to them. Lower fixed costs, so you don't need to have a permanent space. You don't have to buy or rent a permanent space. Disadvantages, it's time and cost of travel between appointments. So if the appointments are far from each other, you need to travel there. It takes you a lot of time and it costs a lot of petrol money. And then number 2, it's harder to create a brand presence. Then a high-end boutique salon is for the fancy peoples. Attracts clients willing to pay premium prices, and they can offer luxurious services and facilities is the advantages. Disadvantages, require significant investment in decor, equipment and training, and its limited marketing appeal due to higher prices. Then it's a specialized niche salon, focus on specific services like curly hair or organic products. Attracts loyal clients who need those specialized services. Disadvantages, risk of limited client base. So let's say you have a salon and you only want to use vegan products or animal-free products, then there's only a certain amount of people that are going to use that salon specifically. The others don't really care, so they would go anywhere. And then number 2, may require additional training or certification to use or to do a service. A franchise salon is like something like KFC. There's a lot of places, so you buy KFC, but you need to use their recipes and their colors and their outfits and everything. You can't change. So advantage is it already comes with brand recognition and support from the franchisor. So if you, let's say you are using Wella, that is a hair color, they give you training on the product, and everybody already knows what Wella is, so you don't have to go and market it somewhere. And then number 2, it's easier to attract clients due to established reputation. Disadvantage, high franchising fees and strict rules from the franchisor and less creative freedom. So if Wella says you have to do it like this and this and this, then you have to do it like that. And normally when you buy a franchise, it's very expensive. A pop-up salon, it's great for short-term marketing campaigns or testing new markets, and minimal commitment in terms of location and contracts. Not sustainable for long-term operations, limited time to build a consistent client base. An eco-friendly salon it appeals to the environmentally conscious clients and often eligible for sustainability incentives. Disadvantage, higher costs of eco-friendly products and systems, and niche appeal may limit the audience. Then legal statuses. So you have businesses, and then I'm going to read you the definitions. So a sole proprietorship, a business owned and operated by one person. The owner is personally liable. A partnership is a business owned by 2 or more people who share profits, losses, and liabilities. Corporation, a legal entity separates from its owners, offering limited liability protection. Cooperative, a business owned and operated by a group of individuals for mutual benefit. Non-profit organization, a business that operates to benefit the public or a specific cause, not for profit. And then a franchise, a business that operates under the branding and business model of an established company. Okay, then we're going over to the pH scale. You have done the pH scale. Please remember there's an acidic, a neutral, and an alkaline part. And normally in the exam papers, they do provide a pH scale for you. So skin and scalp products have a pH level. Remember, your skin and your scalp has a pH of 4.5 till 5.5. pH shows how acidic or alkaline something is. pH scale ranges from 0 to 14. The middle number is 7, and 7 is neutral. Pure water is neutral. If a product has a pH of less than 7, it is acidic, and anything more than 7 is alkaline. An alkaline solution softens and swells the hair, while acidic solutions contracts and hardens the hair. pH scale gives the average pH value of some of the products used in the salon. Okay, normally like this, and remember we have done this in class as well. Okay, so there is acidic, alkaline, and it also shows you there where a perm normally lies, where a relaxer normally lies, bleach, perm, and there is your hair in good condition. So whatever you do, like a relaxer, it's got, let's say, a pH of 14, so that is why you use the neutralizing shampoo to try and neutralize to get your hair back to a, let's say, a 5. And that is it. Good luck. I hope you had a wonderful year, and I hope you have a wonderful vacation after this exam.